Hi Gemini, here is a general look at your solar chart for June 2013, and of course happy birthday because the sun is in your sign, so that makes this a powerful month for you. But before I go any further there, I just want to remind you that the faster moving inner planets and the sun are like the actors on the stage, but the stage was actually built and the play was actually written by the slower moving outer planets. So the stage very likely was built by Saturn, or she would have had a hand in it anyway, giving the orders, I suppose, and making the sort of original design. But this month we've got a lovely aspect between Saturn and Neptune. Saturn is transiting a very service-orientated part of your solar chart until 2015, well, until the very last couple of weeks of 2014. So it's a long transit, and it means that you are working harder, and also you might have to work harder looking after matters to do with health as well. It might be somebody else's, not just yours, but keeping ahead of the game with the practical side of work, techniques, learning new techniques if necessary, adding new strings to your bow, generally working harder at whatever the job is, not procrastinating so much if you possibly can, and just being of more assistance as well, in quite a humble kind of a way towards others who maybe are more needy, and making sure that things just keep ticking over with maintenance and repairs, those sorts of things. But definitely time for plugging away at anything on the practical side, and also with health. It might be yours, might be somebody else's, and being very useful. Now this month we've got this great aspect with Saturn and Neptune, so if you are in the healing area, the spiritual area, the artistic area, this is good news for you, because this can be very inspiring. It can trigger your imagination, and if you almost like let go and allow, then it can bring up to the surface, from a deeper level, and then help you to walk the talk, help you actually to not just sort of, think about baking the cake, but actually bake the cake and then get to eat it too. So, and also if, your work or anything to do with your daily mundane sort of tasks are kind of boring and repetitive, also, not just you guys in the arts or in spirituality or healing, but just all of you, then this Saturn Neptune transit can just kind of take it into a whole new dimension. And you see it as part of a sort of a long story. You see it in a kind of more romantic way, or you could say it's not realistic, but it's on another level of reality, really. And you could use the material which you've thought is quite boring and quite repetitive, but you can take some of that and turn it around, and then it magically becomes a tool, an ally, whatever it is that you need. But it's almost like a tiny shift in your perception, and this Saturn Neptune transit will help you with that. And it could just be, none of that. It could just be that this Saturn Neptune transit makes you feel more sensitive to another, maybe to do with their work, to do with their health, or sensitizes you to your own issues, and see them for what they are. See them, see a little bit deeper in anything to do with work, or that could be workmates, people, colleagues. It could be anybody that who is having problems with their health, or indeed you yourself. So you're just getting a deeper insight into things and realizing that perhaps that there's more going on than meets the eye, and there's more awareness that kind of comes into your conscious mind, and there's more awareness that can bubble up. Neptune rules the subconscious, the unconscious, dreams, and anything to do with the occult or the mystical, and Saturn rules harsh reality. And the two of them together actually are a fantastic couple, because Saturn can help the Neptunian sensitivity apply in practical ways, can turn dreams into reality. So there we go. Now then, it's a powerful time. The sun's in your sign. It's a great time for taking stock and reviewing how well you danced the dance of life over the last nearly 12 months. And in general, the way should be clearer for you to improve things for yourself, and definitely be more self-indulgent. You have the ticket, you have the permission slip, and also to give more time to your aims and ambitions, whether they're short-term ones and short-term niggles even, or more to do with the master plan. So more time, and people feel your power, people feel the sun energy radiating through you, maybe more than you realize during this time. And then from the 21st, finances, goods, property, possessions, all of that begins to take more center stage, being more aware of matters of material security, or it could be physical well-being, your own, or somebody else's. These are the sorts of themes. Also, key themes centered around stuff, property again, money, and the safety, the maintaining it, the protecting it, the improving upon it, whatever it is. The moving it, the ditching it, or the acquiring more. So it can be a mixture of those sorts of things. Also, seeing how to improve things again on this very practical level. From the 21st, things start to get more practical and physical as well, and you need to watch your physical security as well as your material security, and kind of get all the little ducks in a row. Conversations tend to have a very practical slant too. It's about day-to-day chores and duties, but also it can be about money, property, possessions, and all of that kind of thing will be the subject of conversations. Also perhaps paperwork and correspondence, and you could be looking into how to improve things, how to get your hands on better resources, or protect those resources that you have, and get things working in a smoother way, a more lucrative kind of a way. So conversations could be around this. And information exchange may revolve around matters fiscal and material. So buying, selling, renting, leasing, any of that kind of thing could be on your mind. And this would be a good moment to have a think about what you value the most, and prioritize things, maybe figure out how to maximize, or maybe your natural gifts, maybe your natural assets, not just your external assets, whatever it is you have around you, but how you can make the most of yourself, Gemini. And this is a long transit of your ruling planet. Mercury will be in there till August the 9th. In the last week of June, Mercury is going to turn retrograde. So as ever with Mercury going retrograde, it can mean that delays sort of stymie you. There can be something you're waiting on and it doesn't turn up when you're expecting it, and you haven't heard from that person that you were waiting to hear from, or whatever it is about. And it can mean that any trips or vehicle, anything to do with transport or vehicles, there could be delays because of them as well. But really it's not because of them at all, it's because Mercury is turned retrograde. So you just have more time to sort of mull things over really whilst you're waiting, but it's no big deal, hopefully. Venus moves into an area which is about money, property and possessions. That's from, after the first 2 days of the month. And that's good news, actually, to have Venus there. So it means that you can team up with somebody and do quite well, centered, that revolves around that which is of value to you. And if you play your cards right, you can do well, and you can do even better if you know how to manifest what you want. Venus here tends to ease things materially. It opens the path between you and money and other goodies, but just make sure the traffic isn't traveling too much out of your pocket then into it. And this is a good time for acquiring and preserving basic stuff. And others will tend to value. When you've got Venus here, others will tend to value your stuff or, whatever it is that you might be promoting, whatever it is you might wanting to sell or to show in a good light. Venus here will, tend to sort of throw a better light on whatever it is you have. And so therefore you can make the most of what you have, but also you can increase upon that as well. And overall, that you'll have a chance here to use material resources to satisfy some kind of need, some kind of desire that you have, and materially make things more balanced. And as I say, others will tend to appreciate more whatever it is you have, whatever it is you're presenting, but also appreciate you for your contribution, your talent, and your skill. So potentially Venus here is a great mix in with Mercury and the Sun. And then you've got Mars in your sign, or rather the Sun's in your sign but comes out of your sign on the 21st, but you've got Mars in your sign all month, which means that you feel more decisive, and also it tends to bring more hustle and bustle around you. It tends to put more of a demand on your vitalities, so more stamina may be needed. But as your energy levels tend to rise with Mars in your sign, whether you like it or not, the goals and objectives then become more obvious. You've got to roll up your sleeves and get on with it. Definitely a time to get the ball rolling, or indeed not to miss the bus, because it's going to whiz by you anyway. So Mars is about initiating things, and the energy of Mars in your sign is coming through you, but also you're kind of in a sort of an energy sort of an energy cloud, if you like, of Mars energy. So it can be that that's why things start to get accelerate around you, and you've got to be more dynamic. You've got to keep up to speed with things and be more physically active and get on with what needs doing, out of choice hopefully, but it can just be necessity. And some of you could feel this energy but not have a lot on, not have a lot to do other than your normal stuff. So some of you might decide to get fit and take up a new health and exercise regime, or plunge into situations which demand more risk, or even more leadership, because others might be looking to you to sort of be self-sufficient and at least and at most to sort of point the way and lead the way in some way. So it's generally going to get you working harder. Mars, though, be aware that Mars can sap your energy because of what's going on. So make sure that you engineer enough downtime for yourself and balance all your effort with enough relaxation. Okay, now Jupiter is moving this month out of your sign on June the 26th, and is going into your money house, which is potentially good news. It's a lot better news than not. I think that's what I mean. So in in this 12 months that Jupiter is going to be in your money house, it will tend to help you to expand in that area there. And that can be that something drops in your lap that you weren't expecting, which gives you an opportunity to capitalize on it, whatever it is, but you don't know what it is yet. And this is more likely to happen when Jupiter comes close to your sun in Gemini, or to maybe another planet that you've got in Gemini. So this is a year in general for you to expand and learn through physically getting into new things, materially getting into new things, getting into new territories, which could result in better conditions for you. It's centered on your piggy bank, it's centered on property, it's centered on possessions. So all of that will have the Jupiterian beneficial potential abundance, and you can do well if you, again, it's always the same thing I say, if you play your cards right. But he will help you to realize your own worth more. He will help you in this area here to not underestimate what you're worth and what you're capable of, and how big a bite of the cherry, how big a bite of the cake you can have. And also it'll generally be that others will come around to seeing exactly how much you are worth to them as well. And you Geminians born between the 21st and the 22nd of May, or and 14th to 21st of June, or with 23 degrees rising, or up to 2 degrees rising, are going to feel this energy the most this month. So, and now that's it for June. If you want to know what the other outer moving planets are doing, that's Uranus, Neptune and Pluto, and how they may be affecting you, then have a look at my website, and it'll tell you the part of your sign that they're affecting the most this month as well on there. And also listen to your moon sign or your sun, your rising sign forecast, because it'll give you some more information. And I'll see you the next time.